Hello folks, Fuzzfinger here and welcome back to our Let's Play Grim Dawn series. This is episode 7 and I wasn't expecting to actually get this far with this game, but a few people have said that they're really enjoying this series, so I thought let's carry on for a bit. As always guys, if you do enjoy this video, please let me know in the comments section. Tell me if you're playing the game as well and what class you've chosen to go along with, and make sure you subscribe to the Fuzzfinger Gaming channel. Today we are going to continue leveling and making progress through the first act. Right guys, so let's get on with today's episode. We're going to continue with pretty much where we left off, so we're going to head over to the Whitmire Rift over here. And hopefully the plan is that we start killing more enemies and also level up while completing quests. So we've already made some quite good progress, I would say. We've begun to develop our primal strike ability, and although it doesn't always hit, which is a little bit frustrating at times, when it does, it seems to, you know, lay on the damage, which is what we like to see. So I'm just going to manoeuvre my mic around a little bit. Sorry if you hear noise while I do that. Just so I can actually access my keyboard correctly. Hopefully that's better. Rift Hound. What a disgusting looking enemy. And it looks like there's something on the map here, kind of like a yellow splodge. But I don't think it's anything particularly exciting. So we did head into this dungeon in the previous episode, so we won't be doing that again. It is important in Grim Dawn to make sure that you explore all of the dungeons and every cave, mainly because not only can you complete quests in some of them, but also the shrines, the devotion shrines, are in fixed places over the world, and you need to basically get every single shrine in this game to maximise your character's power. So it doesn't look like we've been over into the Foggy Bank area as of yet. And we're back in Whitmire. But we could just go down here. So I've said it a few times now, but I'll continue to make the important points known, and that is you do need to explore every nook and cranny in Grim Dawn. You never know what's hiding in the corners. If you're still on the fence about whether or not you should buy this game, then not only do I recommend it, but I've put a link in the video description of all of these episodes where you should be able to pick it up cheaper than on Steam, and yet you can then activate it on Steam once you've purchased it from the G2A link. And if you purchase from that link, it actually supports me as well. And I do recommend this game. I wouldn't be playing it otherwise. You know, I'd be playing another game instead. So, especially for those of you that have enjoyed action RPGs in the past, such as Diablo, as I have. This game, Grim Dawn, very much feels like a Diablo 2 style game. Even more so than Diablo 3, I think. And don't get me wrong, I've had a heck of a lot of fun out of Diablo 3. I just, you know, feel like they went in a different direction with it than perhaps some of us would have been expecting. And games like Grim Dawn actually do try and go back to the roots of Diablo. So this is the exit to the dungeon that we've already been into. We won't need to head on into this entrance here. And I can also see there's a new rift portal coming up for us, which is nice. So then we won't have to do a lot of backtracking for when we head back to Whitmire, in case we ever do that. I'm not saying that we will, but we probably will. Right, let's just sort out our level here. So we're going to continue on with our Shaman class for the time being. And we're going to be putting points into Torrent here, which affects our primal strike ability, basically by boosting the damage. And we're going to spend attribute points into physique, as always. We will be putting all our points into physique for the foreseeable future. In fact, with most classes in this game, and most class combinations, you're going to be concentrating on physique. So let's go and grab the portal first of all, since it's just up the ways here. We might have to kill some enemies before we can actually access it. So let's just clear around it first, in case it does spawn any more. We don't want to be overwhelmed too quickly. We are playing on veteran difficulty after all. Okay, we didn't have to clear any enemies around before we could activate this one here. So let's just head back over to the right hand side, see what we've got, before we carry on heading onwards down the main road. I think there is a quest of some kind, if I remember correctly. And in fact I can see a star on the map as I say that. So this looks like Negan, is it? Yes, the final guy that we need to kill for our something for nothing quest. So we'll try and stay at ranged, since this guy does seem to hit quite hard and has a frontal cone fire attack as well. Let's try and smash him now in the face. Probably not a good idea. But we do more damage with our two-hander, so if we're happy to take the damage, then we can lay on the damage. Okay, we'll just hit the complete components button there, save some inventory space. And that weapon we've got is nowhere near as good as the one we have equipped, so I won't be using that at all. We can actually go and hand that quest in now when we're ready. But I'm just going to continue on while we're here and explore some of this greyed out area. See if there's any more surprises for us. Yeah, I'm liking this two-hander. Couple of crates to destroy. Briefly check out some of this gear, see if it's any good for us. I guess that's slightly better than the one we were using. Everything else is pretty darn rubbish, so we're just going to sell that at the vendor once we head back to Devil's Crossing. Oh, there's a champion pack here. Try and stay out of all the bad stuff. Sometimes that's easier said than done, especially when you're meleeing around. Right, let's get the trusty rifle out, shall we? Kill some of these weak ones first. Move, move, move. So we get nice amounts of experience by killing the heroes, or the monsters that are labelled as enemy heroes. So they're not part of any quest, but it is still worth killing them, especially for the experience and loot. And one more. Down he goes. An ancient heart. Sounds like an interesting item. Let's go and see what that is. It'll be a quest item or a component, perhaps. Okay, it's a component, so we'll be using that in crafting later on. We'll get it stored into our stash for now once we head back to town. And it looks like we've just about explored this region here. Ah, look at that, we've got a two-handed range weapon that not only can we equip, but is actually better in damage than the one we're currently using, so yes please. Padded breeches of the eagle, I'll take those. Oh, that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and equip the soldier's woven coif. And just a little bit more fog of war to unmask here. Ah, we've got our new gun now. And we're actually doing pretty good damage with that. Yeah, I like that. Right, so we're going to head back towards the rift here. Looks like we've just about explored everything we can explore at this point. I'm not going to head back to town just yet. Yes, I am, because we need to sell. I was going to try and explore a little bit more, but we'll sell up, hand in the quest, and stash what we need to stash. Get a little bit of experience for that. Not a whole lot's got to be said. So, looks like now we've got a couple more enemies we need to go on and kill, but before we do that I'm just going to visit the vendor here. And now if we head up we should be able to find the stash. The stash I do not believe is account wide in this game, so if you create multiple characters then they will have their own stash. And it's back to exploring, as you would expect. Oh, I was looking for our own little personal rift then, but we used the main one, didn't we? So when you open a personal rift, it will appear on the map as a kind of smaller version of the rift icon. So the icon that we're seeing on the map at the south is the dungeon we've already visited. No need to head back there, but there is a new one that's just shown up now. So we'll start making our way over. Ooh, could be a nice ring. 15 offensive ability. I think we'll keep the ones we've got since they're of a higher quality. And we've got another champion pack. You actually get more champion packs by playing on veteran difficulty. And since they give more experience and more loot than regular monsters, it's actually worth the effort to play on veteran difficulty just for that reason alone. Try not to get too close to this guy, since most of his abilities seem to be relatively easy to dodge, so long as you're at range. There we go. Any good stuff for us? Perhaps, perhaps. Let's see what our two-hander... Yep, this is actually a damage boost for our two-hander, so we'll go ahead and throw that on. Grab the potion of healing, or the elixir of spirit as they're called in this game. And make our way down into the cave entrance here, see what pleasures lie within. So as I've said, it is worth exploring every cave. if the worst comes to the worst, you end up with more experience towards your next level than when you first went in. Wow, this guy looks like it could be a challenge. That is a long range on that attack. Just going to try and kite this fella around a bit. Let's be brave and smash him. Just move away from his attacks. Oh wow, we do get a lot more damage on by hitting him from melee range. Obviously we just take a lot more. Oh, a couple of green items, which are generally of a higher quality than the yellows. Think of rares. So we can't equip a new gun due to its requirement of cunning. So we're going to just move on for now. There's this ball of ice here just floating in the air. £129 health. Not too shabby. But I'm going to keep current equipment intact, I think, for now. Wow, so much gear in this place. But is there any gear that's worthy of us to use? The movement speed's quite nice, but I don't want to lose my health bonus that we've got, so... Wow, this is what you call... I was going to say hack and slash, but it's more shoot and run, isn't it? Than anything. But lots of enemies all clustered together, that's what I like to see. That was the point I was trying to make. Yes, I know there's nothing down here, but... just want to double check that. Okay. Everywhere gets explored. That's the general rule of thumb. Oops, sorry, smashed my microphone. Tonic of Mending, we'll grab that. Yeah, I'd actually recommend choosing a build that uses the Shaman tree, just because you can temporarily use the build I'm temporarily using here with Primal Strike to level up a little bit faster. This Primal Strike attack that I'm using is not what I'm going to be using later on. It's just pretty much the best spell you can use in the early game, since you can power it up quite quickly, and it's got a nice AoE effect as well. So there's the exit to this cave, and we've explored pretty much every part of it. Some more snake enemies to greet us on our way out. It's very hospitable of them. Well, I can see another star on the map as well. Let's go and head over to that first of all. Star means quest, of course. I'm sure you guys knew that already. Oops. Missed our shots, and we've levelled up. Prisoner calls for help. This is Luther Graves. So we can open a rift. And we'll just explore this final corner here, I think, before we head back to town and sort ourselves out. In fact, one thing I did just forget to do was spend our new skill points. It looks like Vladok's, the whatever their name was there, Bloodletter, doesn't seem to want to let us do that. Start spamming our Primal Strike and hopefully end this mosquito's miserable existence sooner rather than later. Just move out of the red. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it isn't healing us. Yay, enemy hero killed. Oh, a blue item. It's an epic amulet. We'll go ahead and equip it then because it's epic. I know we won't. It requires level 15, so we'll put it over here for future use. Is any of this stuff any good for us? No, we've already really checked that out, so let's just sort our level out. The hotkey to open the skill window, by the way, is just the letter S, if the icon disappears from down here. So, once again, we have powered up our Primal Strike, and we'll continue to do so. Ah, see that one shot. Almost. Yeah, don't forget guys, if you are playing along, just let me know in the comments section what class you're playing. And also what you think of it. I'm always interested to know what different playstyles people choose and how they work out for them in the game. Okay, I think we've pretty much explored this section. So we're going to head back to town at this moment, I'd say. And this is the guy that we rescued. He actually becomes a vendor for us as well, which is useful, especially if you need to buy things like scraps. He hasn't got any today, but, you know, if you reload the game, he should have some. But so does the other vendor as well. Spend our skill points, our attribute points.
Iron well spent. I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
And there's no more quests to hand in at the moment, so we're ready to head back on out. But I'm going to finish things off here for today, guys, so thanks ever so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you've enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button. And I'll see you soon for more Grim Dawn. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.